Hey everyone. Not sharing content from beyond the white hallway. I'm at an impasse. I've been politely asked now by the devs that there's some content I shouldn't share. But, like... what if I... just do, anyway? Yeah, I mean, it would probably be a month or two before this would hit YouTube anyway. Yeah, I think I feel morally justified in... yeah, you know what? If spoilers happen, everyone just cover your eyes, you know? Let's see. Yeah, this is in a first-person perspective. Okay, so I am going to just say that the devs do seem to feel strongly about the spoilers, and I understand why. Like, this game is sort of puzzle and thematic and intrigue and all that, so if this is the sort of thing that you think you might want to play, you probably shouldn't be watching the stream. Just being perfectly honest with you, if you think this is like your kind of thing, don't watch my stream. I think there's some deals online. You can get this game under 20 bucks, so you should support the devs anyway. This looks really sick. Yeah, I did not receive this game for free, unlike a lot of the games I do play on stream. It's, I did support the devs, and you should too. This was originally a Skyrim mod, as far as I understand. I don't know a lot about that mod, but it was a Skyrim mod at one point.
Hey, you're alive. When I dragged you out of the river, I thought you were never gonna wake up. I checked your pockets for ID, a phone, maybe. I hope you don't mind. But all I found was some loose change. So, wanna tell me who you are?
Okay, it does not seem like it's wanting me to use mouse and keyboard, like because I bet that I could use mouse, but it's like hidden my mouse right now.
Well, it's nice to meet you.
Okay, maybe it was just for that scene.
I'm sorry to pry, but any idea why you were floating down the river? What's the last thing you remember?
Oh, this is choosing stats. Occasional insights into the ancient world. Military issued firearm. Time on the run from the authorities made you quick on your feet, and you're 25% faster when sprinting. Oh, wow. I kind of want to choose this one, just because I feel like it's going to produce more interesting dialogue and play into what I'm interested in a little more.
Oh, you're an archaeologist? Then you'll definitely want to hear this. I don't know if it's exactly what you're looking for, but
I'm a Mulana at
there are
heart, I'm
some
sorry.
ruins just behind you. Roman, I think. I need you to go in there and see if you can find a guy named Al for me. He went in there a few hours ago, and he hasn't come out. I've been freaking out, wondering if he's trapped, or injured, or worse. I would have gone in after him, but he made me promise to stay here, no matter what. There's no way I'm leaving
not
without
crashing.
him. So I'm just kind of stuck here, waiting. What I mean is, I was hoping you wouldn't mind going in there to find him? If you can do that, I can get both of you back to civilization in my boat. Please? Oh, of course. Sorry, I don't mean to be pushy. What do you want to know?
The first option on my list of choices for that previous menu didn't seem like it directly... She has really expressive facial animations. Like, weirdly expressive. Bocom, thank you so much for the resub. The first one didn't seem like it directly indicated what it was going to do for me, which makes it the most intriguing to me. Like, look at how expressive her face is. Jesus Christ.
Not much, really. But imagine what you might find in there. Priceless ancient artifacts. Al... You really don't remember? We're in Italy. This river is the Tiber. He's the guy who washed up on the riverbank not long before you did. I thought maybe you two knew each other. I guess not. But maybe the two of you can piece together what you're doing here. In any case, you'll like him, I'm sure. Once you find him, that is.
Minutes. Literal minutes.
Oh, there's not much to tell. Feels like I've spent my whole life in a dead-end job with an endless commute. Know what I mean? Oh, I'd rather not say if it's all the same to you. All right, fine. Sorry if I sounded cagey, it's just that I don't always get the best reactions when I introduce myself. My name's Karen.
I'm not clicking this one, but this one's really solid. That's a really solid response.
Look, if you really want to know all the tragic details, perhaps I can fill you in after you find Al?
Or maybe I just don't find Al. You see? You see how this goes?
What am I, an idiot? You could hike a long, long way in any direction and never find another soul. Trust me. Great. So you're ready to go look for Al?
Did not say that.
My hero. The entrance is just past those columns behind you. Oh, and he left this here. But I think you'll need it more than I will.
Flashlight. 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 Okay. Mouse sensitivity is really low. Holy shit. Like, absurdly low. That's much better. Okay. It's got motion blur, too. Can I turn off the motion blur? Okay. Nice chicken you're cooking there. I see they were unwilling to leave Skyrim entirely. If I meet this character and he doesn't sing Call Me Al, I'm done. Does like a little zoom in when you run. That's kind of nice. What? Nothing valuable, but still seems strange that Al left it behind. Is there like anything I can do with it? If it's filled with money, you have to let me have it. I touched it last, which makes it mine technically.
If you're reading this, it means I've discovered the entrance to an ancient Roman city hidden deep underground. Its existence is long forgotten, all knowledge of it lost, except in the Latin inscription here. It reads, "You who wish to enter the city, step forth and be judged. The virtuous shall be rewarded with eternal life in paradise. The wicked shall find themselves showered in gold, but in vain.
Is my
For
capture
this
really
shall be
choppy?
their final resting place."
It looks choppy
Could
on my
underground
monitor, but I'm
city
having a
have
hard time
remained
telling.
secret for all this time? Could people have survived down there?
Let's see if there's anything I can do about that. I don't know why it's choppy. Maybe if I just lower the overall video quality. It's like on epic quality right now.
Against the odds,
Still kind of
Seems
choppy.
there's only one way to find out. If I'm not back in an hour, I'm somewhere on the other side. Consider this an invitation, or a warning. Al Worth.
Let's see what I can do. Okay, so when I lower it this low, it is, obviously smoother. Okay, so it does just seem to be that it's very demanding on my computer. Even on low, it's coming through kind of choppy to me. Yeah, I usually use window capture. I may need to change my method of capture just for this, though. Let me try something else. Oh, that is strictly speaking worse. That is just out and out worse. Does seem like the game is fairly demanding, visually. Like, they went all in on making it look really good, and as a result, my computer is not having it. Because it's smooth on my end, but just the capture is kind of crappy. Let me see if I can fix this before I go any further. Let's see. Let's try just straight window capture. Okay, so straight window capture doesn't even look like it can capture this game. It's just not updating visually. Oh, wait. Is this any better? It doesn't look strictly... Is this better? It's hard for me to tell. I'm looking at too many things at once. I'm having a hard time telling myself whether or not this is any better. Trying to think of what other tricks I have up my sleeve that I can make it a smoother capture. Okay, so this is what I get with monitor capture, and it seems strictly worse. So this is monitor capture. This is game capture now. Well, I may have to go for... Is there anything below low? The problem isn't that my computer can handle it. My computer seems to be doing just fine. It seems as if it's a matter of capturing it smoothly while I'm playing it on the same computer. Like a 2 PC setup would not be struggling in the slightest. If I lower the quality this low, I now get a smooth capture. This looks smooth. But this is a remarkably low quality capture. Can I lower the resolution to cheat this or something? Wait, did just turning on VSync help? Okay. VSync's on, let me try going back to a decent graphical quality. Okay. It was just a matter of VSync. Okay, cool. I just got my ass dropped. I may lower the quality just because I'm getting a little bit of stuttering here and there. My computer's not great. My computer's pretty old at this point, and until graphics cards are affordable again, will continue being outdated. I don't get the impression from this that it's designed to be creepy. I think it's more a suspense, more like puzzle mystery game. But we're gonna find out together whether or not it's creepy. I'm actually not huge on creepy, so I'm kind of banking on it not being. A roaming gladiator mid-stride. Okay. Well, you know what? I take back what I said. They turned this into like a loading. It's kind of a cute way to do loading. Uh-oh, statue's missing. A few statues are missing. Yeah, get out of here. Attempting to scramble away from something. Appears to be praying for help. Oh, sorry. Moo kitten. Golden statue of an old man wearing modern clothing. Oh god. That's Al. Well,
Whoever reads this, I'm sorry you had to find me like this. And worse, she'll suffer the same fate I did. I've spent a lifetime in this place, going around and around in circles, searching for a way out. The inscription was right. There is no way back. And here there are only two options. Death, and that godforsaken doorway into the past. I made the mistake of stepping through it. I wanted to set things right. And I tried. I really tried. Whatever I did, it took me right back to the beginning. Don't make the same mistake. Better to end it all now. And find out what awaits you beyond that portal.
That doesn't seem weird at all. Keep in mind, beyond this point, I can't be held accountable for spoilers. Again, this game seems pretty cool. If you are agreeable to a game of this style, you may be more interested in playing this yourself. Just a reminder. I can't tell if it's doing this particularly hard bit of loading, or if the game just crashed. The game was 10 gigabytes to download. Can I just say, boy howdy, that's a lot of gigabytes. It's taking revenge on me. I'll be patient for a moment. I'm willing to believe that it's just a particularly hard bit of loading. Because the loading... I'm in front of the loading icon. It's over here. You see it? You see it behind me? Alright, at what point do I give up hope? It's hard to tell. This is not hard on my eyes in the slightest. Yeah, I think it might have crashed. Alright, well, we'll try again. It gave up at 2 gigabytes used. Hey, Al.
To whoever reads this, I'm sorry you had to find me like this. And worse, that you'll suffer the same fate I did. I've spent a lifetime in this place.
Was there a stone tablet I was supposed to read?
And around
It checked it off for me because I didn't bother.
for a way out. The inscription was right. There is no way back. And here there are only 2 options. Death, or that godforsaken doorway into the past. I made the mistake of stepping through it. I wanted to set things right. And I tried. I really tried. Whatever I did, it took me right back to the beginning. Don't make the same mistake. Better to end it all now. And find out what awaits you beyond that portal.
Didn't even let me jump through the window. What the frick? How do I open my inventory? I picked up something, so... Oh, that's photo mode. Alright, let's see if we have some better luck loading this time. Great circular portal and 2 women. Wonder who they could be. Circular portal might have been what I went through. Out of memory, trying to allocate a texture. Alright, so that's what's going on. I ran out of video memory. So this is going smoothly so far, at least. Alright, just gotta keep our eyes on the prize, right? This game looks like it's gonna be cool. It's gonna kick ass once we get through the growing pains of how to get it to run on my computer. Look, you may not have a problem with this game, because your computer probably sucks a little less than mine. I mean, it's a gorgeous game, though. Jesus. I had this problem on my computer the other day. I remember it where I was trying to, do something and my dashboard wouldn't load anymore. My stream dashboard. Anyway, that's happening again. And I had to kill Chrome in order to fix it last time, I think. Sorry, Chrome. You just got the axe. No. Sorry, I want to be just playing the game, but I'm currently having to go through the trouble. Alright. Looks like I got everything loaded back again. At the very least, my dashboard's open.
Salve, friend. I'm Galerius. Mind telling me who you are and what you were doing in the Shrine of Proserpina?
Oh, probably don't want to tell a lie, right? Any sin makes everyone die?
Oh, is that right? Well, just make sure you don't get lost in any other sacred places you're not supposed to be. Can't have you disrespecting the gods by accident, can we now? But listen, most folks seem a bit confused when they get here, but you seem very lost, and in more ways than one. So let me make this nice and simple for you. Live by our law here, and we'll all get along just fine. Not laws, law. There's just one, the Golden Rule, and the punishment for breaking it's, well, it's kind of horrific. But our magistrate insists we take all newcomers to see him, so I guess I'll let him fill you in. So then, you coming? first arrived, I couldn't believe there were people living down here. But, as you can see, we've got a nice little community now. Only 23 of us at the moment, if you count the 3 who are missing. No idea how, since nobody knows a way out. But it's just big and dark enough to get lost in, if you're not careful.
Aren't you going to introduce me to your handsome new friend, Galerius?
Keep it in your loincloth, Aurelia. I'm taking him to see the magistrate.
That pompous old bore won't be magistrate for much longer. Anyone who helps vote him out today drinks at my bar for free tonight.
Is he waiting for me?
Politics. I'd stay clear of it and her if I were you.
Hey,
She's-
this thing that's happening right here is one of the worst things in a
Down to
video
your
game
right
is
our
when
farm, where
you're
I grow
following
all the
someone
food
who
you'll ever
walks
want. As long as all you want is leek, cabbage, and wheat,
just slower than you can walk.
that one usually gets a chuckle.
The bloodless shadows wander without flesh or bone.
Don't
No,
mind
Shift
Lydia.
actually runs.
She-
Shift would be
well,
worse.
she's just been in a bad place since...
If I crouch, it's
Well,
about
you know,
right, I think.
I don't know what happened to her. Up here on your right is the chasm. If you've got a weapon, it belongs way down at the bottom. Up on your left is the forum, where you can visit the market or get yourself patched up in Lucretia's clinic in the Shrine of Apollo. Most of us have almost nothing, just what we had on us when we arrived.
Oh, there's a button just to
and what we've
follow
been
him.
able to
Fuck.
make and
Sorry, thank
scrounge
you.
up since. And this
That's on me.
central plateau is where the magistrate and the other patricians live, so don't expect a warm welcome.
Galerius, you're meant to be working the farm, not trudging dirt into the villas.
Take it easy, Horatius. I was just taking our new friend here to see the magistrate.
Well, he's asked me to escort the newcomer personally. The farm. Go. Now.
You better
Oh,
go
I
with
liked
him.
Galerius.
Just remember, they're not like you and me. Don't let them use you.
What was that? What did you just say?
I said it'll take some getting used to.
Yeah, I'm watching you, farm boy. Greetings, citizen. My name's Horatius. Magistrate Sentius asked me to escort you to him personally. Follow me, please.
All centurions are bastards.
I expect the magistrate wants to brief you about the Golden Rule. It shouldn't take too long. He's busy preparing for the election later today. Follow me. The only thing you really need to understand right now is the Golden Rule. Let me see if I can explain it this way. When I was serving in the Legion, if there was a mutiny brewing in one cohort, the legate in charge wouldn't waste time finding the bad apples among hundreds. They just divided us into groups of 10, made us draw straws, and whoever drew the short straw had to be executed by the other 9.
That's what decimation meant.
Anything wrong. One of us in 10 would die for the crimes of the collective. We call it decimation. If that seems like rough justice to you, you're in for a rude shock. Because the Golden Rule is exactly 10 times worse. The magistrate can explain the rest. He's up these stairs.
Can I steal any stuff? I have the gist of what's going on here, and I'd like to steal stuff. Oh no. I was joking, and it's actually presented me with the option.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Sick. Sick. This game's good. This game's good.
Must get to the shrine.
Salve, friend.
Salve, friend. I don't think so. I've never seen you before in my life. Oh, Bacchus, how much did I drink last night? Sorry to have bothered you. Oh, and since you seem to be in a hurry, you should try out this device I made. Worked real hard on it.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you,
Just
gamer.
attach the pulley to the rope over the lake and hang on to the handles. If it works, it'll be faster than walking.
And if it doesn't?
And if it doesn't work, worst thing that can happen is you'll take a swim in the lake. I haven't quite summoned the courage to test it myself. But don't worry, it's completely safe. Probably. All right, see you around.
Hell yeah, gamers. To fuck shit up.
Fear is proof of a degenerate mind. Greetings, citizen. My name's Horatio. I'm afraid I have to insist. Alright. Well, I can't force you. I'll let him know you declined. But he won't be pleased with either of us. He's one of the better commanders I've ever had, that's for sure. Good stoic. Lives by Seneca's words. Treat your inferior as you would wish your superior to treat you. Can't ask for much more than that. I went around asking the same questions when I first arrived. Never did find a way out. But I learned how to accept my situation. To bear trials with a calm mind robs misfortune of its strength and burden. That's from Seneca the Younger, if you're interested. Well, as I always say, it's kind of like a divine version of the practice of decimation in the Legion. By threatening to execute 1 in 10 men, the idea is to ensure order and discipline among everyone. And it works. If you knew you could be executed because your brother-in-arms is planning a mutiny, well, you'd bloody well watch him like hundred-eyed Argus, wouldn't you? Because your only chance of saving yourself is to stop bad things before they happen. Makes us all responsible for keeping each other in check. It's brutal, of course, but effective. The Legion wouldn't be the most formidable force in the world without it. A war crime? Isn't that a contradiction in terms? As Cicero said, in times of war the law falls silent.
That's messed up.
Your sword wouldn't last a week in the Legion. What's done is done. I was forced to execute my brothers in arms, and those memories will always visit me in my sleep. But life is harsh, and I've come to accept my lot. As with the Golden Rule, I don't have any control over it, so railing against it would be like trying to stop the seasons or the tides. As Seneca the Younger wrote, true happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future, not to amuse ourselves with either hopes or fears, but to rest satisfied with what we have, which is sufficient. For he that is so wants nothing. If you like. Not that it's any of your business, but my loyalty is and always will be with Sentius. Unfortunately, I don't think my vote is going to make any difference today. See, Domitius has been going around town, shoring up votes for Malleolus with lies.
Malleolus is a name for a bad person.
But he's a gladiator, so people fear and respect him more than they should. Sentius knows about it, of course, but he doesn't have the same rat cunning as Malleolus. This place will be different with that sleaze at the helm. But I try not to worry about things I can't change. Hey, if you think you can do better, be my guest. But I won't hold my breath. In any case, if you're interested in the election, go and have a chat with Equitia, the Vestal Priestess. She'll be overseeing proceedings. All right?
Ugh, this place has become a thoroughfare. Ugh, I wish Horatius would stop letting barbarians in here. What do you want? I'm Sentia, eldest daughter of the Magistrate. But you'd know that if you'd been invited in here and introduced properly. What are you doing in here? And why are you dressed like that? Really? I'd never have noticed, what with your flawless accent, appropriate attire, and impressive mastery of our customs. Now, remind me, why are we having this conversation? Ugh, what is it with you people? You heard the rumor that my little sister escaped and figure I must know a way out too. Is that it? Well, that's just a stupid rumor. We have no idea what happened to Scintilla. I wish you mouth breathers would just leave me alone. I don't know. Can you? Can you tell me how a person could have disappeared from a city with no exits and no crime? Was she snatched away by the Harpies? You really aren't from here, are you? All Roman women are named after their fathers. I think it's their way of branding us, like cattle to be sold at market. His family name is Sentius, so I'm Sentia because I'm the eldest, and my little sister is formerly Sentia Minor, but she is affectionately known as Scintilla. Why? Because I'm on this couch and not pacing about the villa, wasting energy? I hope you're not insinuating I'm somehow pleased with her disappearance.
I should revisit this conversation at some point.
Ugh, you're awful. Get out of my villa and never speak to me again.
You know what? We'll reconvene at a later time loop. How about that? No kidding. What happened to you? Are you one of... Oh, is she one of the archers? Do their bow and arrows not appear right away? Yeah. Okay. Because she doesn't have a bow. Oh, is walking on the grass... I guess walking on the grass isn't a sin. Nice.
Oh, don't mind me. I just live here.
Cool. Good talk.
We're finally alone. I assume you already know who I am. May I know your name?
I'm Author Blues.
A curious name to match a curious accent. But I digress. I see you have the piercing and astute eyes of a man of great learning. We're always happy to welcome another scholar to our little community. Equitia will be delighted to meet you, I'm sure. Now, you're probably wondering why I summoned you, and I'll get to that. But first, take a look at this wondrous place, would you? A secret city built deep in the mountains, many hundreds of years ago. Indeed. More importantly, consider the miraculous community we've built here over the last 7 months. 22 complete strangers brought together by the fates, living and working together in our own little paradise.
Yeah, paradise.
And in all that time, not a single sin has been committed. No fights, no theft, nothing. Have you ever witnessed something so extraordinary as a city without sin? Nor could I until I came here. But the reason for this miracle is as simple as it is terrifying.
If even one person commits a sin here, every last one of us will die. You see, the builders of this place, whoever they were, left inscriptions warning, "The many shall suffer for the sins of the one." From what we can gather, breaking the law here will anger the gods and provoke a terrible punishment. Like the curses of Medusa and Midas combined, turning us all to gold. We've come to call it the Golden Rule. It's extraordinary that we've survived as long as we have, and each day I grow more and more afraid that our time in the sun is almost up. And now it seems that day is finally here. All that matters is that somebody in this city is about to break the Golden Rule. Why else would Proserpina send you now? Unless you and I can stop them, our doom is assured. I know that's a lot to take in, and you look like you have questions. Please, ask away. An intelligent question. There was a good deal of debate about that in our first weeks here. Does it refer to crimes, or to some other ill-defined wrong? Of course, everyone agrees on the basics. No theft, no assault, and certainly no murder. But beyond that, it was more difficult to reach a consensus. What about lying?
Lying's
Insulting
allowed.
someone? Blasphemy? Trespass? Trying to escape? Bribery? Infidelity? Suicide? As magistrate, I had to exercise leadership, and so I made a decision. We must uphold the laws of the Empire to a standard never before seen. And we must honor the peace of the gods, the sacred accord between the gods and the people of Rome. It is only by offering the gods the proper respect that we may prosper, as Rome has for centuries.
Yeah.
Barbaric? Barbaric? What are you talking about? The Empire is the most civilizing force in the known world. Rome is a beacon of light in the darkness. For 800 years she has borne
Yeah, it's pretty cool so far, Punchy.
statesmen, philosophers, poets, artists, and engineers. We have comprehensive laws protecting the rights of our citizens, which have unified countless warring tribes all across the Mediterranean and beyond, from Gallia to Judea. All our citizens are treated the same, regardless of the color of their skin or their sexual preference. Can you say the same? When our people are starving, they are given food rations, and when they are wronged, they have the right to bring the guilty party before the magistrate. Our laws forbid treason, murder, assault, and rape, as well as theft and arson, and so on. No other civilization in the world is so advanced, and you have the hubris to call us barbaric?
All these options, and there's just my mistake.
Are you talking about our practice of decimation? Of course. We could hardly unite all these warring tribes without a disciplined, formidable legion. Of course, but with fewer rights come fewer responsibilities, and the right to be protected by their fathers and husbands.
Yo, maybe this guy needs to be turned into gold. Like, maybe that's... Maybe turn him into gold.
You mean the blasphemous cult responsible for burning down half of Rome last year? It's hard to blame the people for being angry about that. On occasion, but our gladiators are almost all volunteers seeking glory, or condemned prisoners who would have been executed anyway. I do not see the harm. Of course, what else would we do with those prisoners of war who would otherwise have been executed? And besides, there are laws for their protection as well. Well, right now, you're a long, long way from home. I have made my pronouncement on the subject. Unfortunately, there are still those here who resist, whispering blasphemous and treasonous lies in the shadows. I would be keeping a close eye on them if I were you.
Hold on a second, let me close the door. Okay.
You see, in my search for a way to save my people, I learned of an ancient ritual to Proserpina, the goddess of the cycle of life and renewal. It's said to open a doorway in time, so that if the unthinkable happens...
There are people out there who venerate the Roman period?
Travel back to the past. And when I saw you arrive...
Of course
in
they
a
will,
flash of light
shitheads.
from the goddess's shrine, I knew that person was you. You don't belong...
Not just them. Everyone throughout history was shitheads, and we are not exempt from that. We are still shitheads very much.
2,000 years? That is unfathomable. Please, tell me, in your time, what did you see? What had become of us? Of this city? Lie all you want, but I see the truth in your eyes.
It is interesting that lying is not considered a sin in this case. It does make dialogue choices more interesting.
All I can tell you is that it's a ritual sacrifice to Proserpina. I
already lied at the beginning of this, so I knew that that was safe.
Prayer, and of course, as with all rituals, some sacrifice is involved. Usually that means wine or food, or in some cases a live animal. In this case, the sacrifice is rather more costly. The life of the person performing the ritual. I don't suppose you saw any sign of me in the future? I assume that was me. If I'm forced to perform the ritual, it's going to cost me everything. You'll try to make sure I don't need to use it, won't you?
I'm not personally invested in you.
Well, I suppose that's all I can ask for. Well, I believe you're in the best position to go around asking people questions. You're new here, and it'll seem perfectly normal. As for me, well, it pains me to say my attempts to impose order have not earned me many friends. I fear I may not even remain magistrate after today's election. The people here would only treat my curiosity with suspicion. You shouldn't have that problem, though, unless, of course, you get off on the wrong foot. Do you ever stare at a problem for so long that you can't see it for what it is?
Damn, real shit.
What's needed here is a fresh pair of eyes. The less I prejudice the independence of your investigation, the better. Me? Why would you suspect me? I've just told you, I'm about to sacrifice my own life to ensure these people have a second chance. What reason could you possibly have to suspect me?
Okay, so it's gonna be him. Got it.
I'm glad you think so. Without trust, without each other, we won't be able to prevent what is about to happen. Ah, so you know about that already. It's a devastating loss, of course, but that was over 3 weeks ago, and whatever happened to her, it didn't break the golden rule, so I don't think it's connected with our imminent demise.
She might not actually be gone, she might just be hidden somewhere.
And return her to me, I would be eternally grateful.
There's a statute of limitations on eternity. He means he'll be grateful up until the point he gets turned into gold or his face melts off, like with the Ark of the Covenant.
Well, all right. There are those who wish to vote me out of office so that they can pursue their own misguided political agenda. Frankly, their
Misguided
selfishness
political
and
agenda. Who would do that?
risk destabilizing the entire city. I would be looking very carefully at them if I were you.
Oh no, is he making me his political puppet?
If I understand Prosperna's ritual correctly, that problem should take care of itself. Let me see if I can explain. If you manage to prevent the sin that breaks the Golden Rule, I won't need to bring you here. I won't create the portal, and you will never have been able to come here. Thus, you'll have created a paradox. If this occurs, you should be flung back to your own time, having changed the past for all of us. Make sense?
That is an extraordinarily different and charitable interpretation of what happens when you create a time paradox in most games. Most of them end with me not existing anymore. Or, alternatively, the universe not existing anymore. So, convenient. Extraordinarily convenient.
Ah, good. So, are you with me? Can I count on you to figure out who's about to break the Golden Rule? No, I don't suppose you do. But I'm hoping that even if you're not burdened with a sense of self-sacrifice, you'll at least see the sense in self-preservation. Wonderful. Now, I need you to investigate the city, talk to everyone, help them if it'll win their trust. I authorize you to enter private homes and inspect possessions and documents, unless, of course, you're asked to leave. Figure out who the culprit is.
I give you absolutely unilateral permission to do anything you need to, unless someone says, I'd prefer if you weren't here, in which case you have to listen to them.
Oh, and one last thing. If I were you, I'd start my investigation by visiting Lucretia at the Shrine of Apollo in the Forum. I heard wailing from there not long ago. It seems like something's not right. If you're snooping around in my possessions, you're wasting your time.
Am I? Because I'm pretty sure you have 246 denaries.
Do I need to ask Horatius to escort you out of here? Get out, you horrid barbarian!
Extraordinarily rude. Just because I told her that she was probably happy that her sister went missing. She's got a real attitude problem, that one. Can I stand on your back?
What were you two talking about? Don't play dumb. I saw you. Having a shady little chat with old man Sentius up on his balcony. What's he offering you? Money? Favours? What's your vote worth to him? What? You're throwing your lot in with him for free, then? That's even worse. Mark my words, Malleolus is going to be magistrate by the end of the day. And if I tell him you sided with that feeble old has-been, that you've been trying to undermine his hard-won victory, you'll have picked the wrong patron.
What's he gonna do? Kill me? So the guy who's about to be killed with everyone else?
Good. Then stay
Oh,
out
that
of
last
it.
one would have been good.
Nobody likes Caput Murde foreigners interfering in a...
Caput Murde? Is there a way for me to find out what that means?
What now?
It was like a weirdly highlighted word. Like it
When Malleolus wins the election, yeah, this place will change. You won't even want to leave. You'll see. I think it's gone on long enough, and Malleolus is going to put an end to it once he's elected. He's going to announce it in his victory speech. Just you wait and see.
I'm sure the gods will love that.
'Cause if I tell you, and it gets out, it'll give old man Sentius a chance to interfere in our plans.
What is this
We can't have
accent?
that. We've already lined up the votes he needs to win. Just stay out of our way, and we won't have a problem. Malleolus, of course. If old man Sentius can't even protect his own daughter, how can we trust him to protect us? Whatever.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, why is it some weird...
You're not thinking about going into the cistern, are you? Contrary little cap at murder, aren't you?
Okay, so you called me a shithead again?
Nobody's told you about Hannibal? Ugh, why do I have to do everything round here? So, there was this guy called Hannibal, right? Funny accent.
That's
Used to go down
rich
into the
coming from you.
cisterns looking for junk he could clean up and sell. One day, a few weeks back, he comes out and tells me the cisterns are haunted. Said
He
he
grabs
could
his
hear spirits
shotgun.
wailing.
Heads
Of
back
course,
in.
nobody
I said,
believed
what?
him,
And
'cause
he
was
said,
just a
cistern's
carpenter,
haunted.
right? Anyway, a few days later, he goes back in. And hours go by, and he hasn't come back out, yeah? So I go down after him, and it's dark. But in the distance, I can just make out his body, sprawled out on the ground, and hunched over him was something that made my blood run cold. No word of a lie, I saw a creature. Like the corpse of a man who'd been flayed. And it was eating Hannibal.
Interesting story. Not actually a sin to be a flayed man eating another person. That's totally above board.
If it was a man, maybe. But I swear on my life this was no man. More like a Strix. Or some Versipelus that feeds on human flesh. I didn't stick around to see which. I know what I saw, alright? But if you reckon you're more fearless than a gladiator, don't let me stop you going down there. Just see what happens.
Hell yeah, hell yeah.
Without a weapon? Well, it's your funeral.
Is me dying a sin? I think that guy was onto something.
Oh my!
Some
I've
lamp.
never seen a lamp like that. Praise Apollo.
Wait, I looked away and she moved? She was looking up. Weird. Probably nothing. Yeah. Just on the edge of my vision, I was able to see her move. Weird. Slightly unsettling.
A new face. Ave, and may Vesta watch over you. I'm Equitia. To what do I owe the pleasure of this visit? Oh my. I take it people are quite direct where you're from. I suppose it's quite charming in its own way. Usually, however, you wouldn't simply march up to a Vestal priestess and without due formality or courtesy ask, "What is your story?" The proper approach would be to arrange an introduction through a mutual acquaintance in high office, by which time you would already know how to address me. And then you would find a way to satisfy your curiosity rather more indirectly. But to be honest, I've often thought what an unnecessarily formal way to communicate that is. So, let's do it your way. You just keep being yourself and ask whatever you like. It'll be a refreshing change. You know, I'm not entirely sure. But what about you? How did you end up here? Karen, you say? And nothing about that name seemed odd to you?
Yeah, now that you mention it.
Older. I see. I wonder if... No. I apologize. I don't mean to be cryptic.
I wonder if that was Scintilla.
It's just that you've got me thinking. Have you spoken with any of the others about how they arrived here too? I really think you should. Go around and ask them what they remember and see if you notice any patterns. I know. I just don't want to see what happened to Livia happen to you too. Up until a few weeks ago, she was a perfectly productive member of our little community, darning clothes and cutting hair. She was always so chatty, always seeking out newcomers and asking them where they were from and how they wound up here. And then, about a month ago, she suddenly changed. She withdrew, stopped working and became despondent, started muttering to herself. Galerius and I visited her to see how we could help, but she just looked at us with this haunted stare, called us bloodless shadows, and told us we were ignorant of some pattern. Look, it could be unrelated. Perhaps she simply fell ill. Or, as Galerius suggested, the weight of the Golden Rule was too much for her. But there is a small chance that she learned something, saw a pattern nobody else saw, and that it broke her. I just don't want to see that happen to you. So be careful, will you? Thank you. Now, go and follow the thread of truth through this labyrinth, and come back to me if you discover any patterns. I don't, I'm afraid. It seems to me we're exiled here until the gods judge us, one way or another. I'm quite sure it's the work of the gods, which is strange because they've never been particularly concerned with our misdeeds, as long as we've kept the peace of the gods. We ask for blessings, for good health, bountiful harvest, military victory, and in return, we offer praise, wine, incense, or animals. But here, it seems they require much more of us. I find myself reminded of an especially pertinent tale from our great poet Ovid in his epic Metamorphoses. Would you like to hear it? It is rather long. Wonderful. It goes like this. Baucis and Philemon were an old married couple living a humble life in a small town. One night, the town gets a visit from a couple of vagrants. They go from door to door, asking for a place to stay the night. Of course, being vagrants, they're turned away sharply from house after house, 1,000 in all, until finally they come to the little cottage where Baucis and Philemon lived. Now, the kind old couple had very little to offer, but nevertheless, they invite these strangers into their house and offer them food, wine, and a place to stay. Immediately, the guests make themselves at home. They begin gulping down the old couple's wine, so much so that Baucis, the old lady, begins to worry they're going to run out. And then she notices something strange. Her wine pitcher keeps refilling itself, as if by magic. Realizing only a select few possess such powers, says to her husband, Philemon, "I think these men are gods in disguise." Immediately the couple begins apologizing for offering such coarse wine, and the vagrants metamorphosize and reveal themselves to be Jupiter, the king of the gods, and Mercury, the trickster god. They confide they didn't mind the meager offerings. They were just pleased that someone in the town offered them hospitality. Then Jupiter says to them, "You have passed our test, but everyone else in this city failed, so we are going to destroy this place and everyone in it, except you, who we will grant a wish." So old Baucis and Philemon escape up into the mountains safely, and they receive their wish, which is for eternity together. Meanwhile, Jupiter carries through with his threat and wipes that city off the map. Some say the moral of that story is that we must all honor the sacred rituals of guest friendship, the reciprocal obligations owed between hosts and guests. But I like to think it's that we should always show compassion for those less fortunate than ourselves.
Sorry?
A cynic philosopher might take that view, but it's not entirely invalid, I suppose. It must be completed by dusk, just the same as any other official business. It'll be between Sentius, the incumbent, and Malleolus, the challenger. Why do you ask?
Because I was thinking of running myself.
All of the male citizens who are willing and able to attend, unless they're running, of course. That's just the way it's always been, I'm afraid. It never sat right with me, either. There are some women who can vote, Vestal priestesses like myself, but in this case, given my role overseeing the election, I've decided to abstain. I can't allow the perception that I'm being anything but fair and independent, but if it's any consolation, there are other ways to influence the outcome of an election. By using whatever gifts the gods gave you. Nothing untoward, of course. I'm responsible for announcing it and making sure the procedures are followed. You can, assuming they're eligible and willing to accept the nomination. As I said, I'm planning to hold it before dusk, but I suppose I could hold it sooner, if there's a good reason. Yes. I have overheard some rather unpleasant arguments. The last thing we need here is additional conflict. Very well. I'll get things started right away.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Rude, we were talking. Hey. Can you believe that? Can you believe her running out here like that? I'm sure you can believe anything.
Time for Malleolus.
Why are some of these people already gold? These two turned to look at me, and that's messed up.
have to do something. A man arrived in the baths. A real nasty sort, with his face all covered up. And he's got a weapon. You have to do something, or he's gonna break the golden rule. None of us do. The magistrate made us throw them all into the chasm. So now this man's bow is the only one in the city. You'll just have to improvise. Thank you. He's still in there, somewhere. I have to hide. Find me in this empty shrine when it's over. What? We don't have time for this. Ugh. The shrine is collapsing!
Okay, well, good talk. Oh God.
Hello? Hello? My name's Dooley. I live here now because I got in trouble and they said they had to lock me up. I don't know. I don't remember things so good. I think it's just because I was looking for treasure. No! I would never! I'm good! They said I did it more than once. But I can't remember things so good. Then they called me mean names. They called me a liar, Billy. Yeah. They said I have to live here now, and gave me this letter. But I'm not good with words. Do you? You think you could read it for me?
I'm writing to you in relation to your incorrigible antisocial behavior arising from your obsession with an alleged lost treasure. While I'm sympathetic to your plight and passing of your guardian Hannibal some weeks ago, I wish to impress upon you an important message. The treasure you seek does not exist. Given your memory limitations, it seems that you likely misremember. More importantly, since you have several occasions been caught trespassing, including around the cisterns, which are strictly off-limits to all citizens, I have reluctantly come to the conclusion you are a liability to this community and must have your freedom limited, lest you break the golden rule.
What does it say? My treasure. My friend Hannibal used to look after me. He said he always would. But then, he died. It was very sad. He said if anything ever happened to him, I had to find something very precious hidden away. He gave me this key and made me promise to keep it safe until I found the treasure. But I couldn't find it. All I remember is he said something about the cisterns. But when I went up to the high one, they put me in here. Now nobody looks after me. Except my friend Galerius. And Ek, the priestess lady. She's a nice lady. Hannibal said I shouldn't give it to anyone I didn't trust. But maybe you could help me get out of here. Then I would trust you a lot. Galerius
Don't you just
already
love
tried.
springtime?
He said the magistrate wouldn't listen,
What was
no
that
matter
sound?
what. What about the rules? I don't want everyone to get in trouble because I was bad. Like Galerius. He's nice. I like Galerius. He made me a doll and everything. If you help make him magistrate, he can get me out of here, and I can give you the key to my treasure. Hannibal said it was in the cisterns. I can't remember what it was, just that it was way up high and very precious. Bye-bye. Hello. Have we met before? Bye-bye.
Aw. Myth of the Golden Wool. As per custom, I shall begin by paying my respects to the god responsible for the city, for our continued prosperity and tranquil seclusion. He deserves our admiration. But here I must depart from the custom, for this attempt at imposing a strict rule upon us is oppressive and overreaching and deserving our contempt. Oh, there's a reading mode for making reading text easier. The threat, sort of Damocles that we live under, is merely a deception. Huh. It's kind of a interesting conceit that there's people who have already been turned to gold, perhaps? Like, this is not maybe the first iteration of this city? God. The statue's moving, it just still fucks with me, I'm sorry. That's fucked up. only they could support my weight. Damn, that sucks. The bloodless shadows wander without flesh or bone. Please don't get jumped. This place is called Accursed. Here, Tydeus offers up his innards to be torn, stretched over 9 fields. You, Tantalus, cannot catch the drops of water, and the tree you grasp at eludes you. You, Sisyphus, attack or pursue the stone that always returns. Ixion turns and follows after himself and flees, and the 49 Abelitas, who dared to plot the destruction of their cousins or husbands, fetch again with incessant labor the water they have lost. Still weird, still weird. May the gods be kinder to you than they were to us. Got an arrow. He listens with their ears. Wonder if that means that... Oh, nice. Tantalus. Sucks for you, but I'm built different. Those butterflies keep showing up, which I think are supposed to, like, guide me a little bit. But I couldn't figure out what it was guiding me to right there. Like, I couldn't go up there or anything, so... We're playing hide and seek, Galerius. We're playing hide and seek. What's going on, Galerius?
I saw you use the device I made, and it worked. Anyway, I'm sorry to ask, but is there any chance you'd be willing to do me a favor?
Anything, but I require from you a trade.
Well, I've been trying to get this rare flower from the rock spire in the middle of the lake. It's too steep to climb, so I hung a rope over the lake and made this pulley device, only I couldn't quite summon the nerve to use it. Do you think you could use the device again and try to get that flower for me? Oh, thank you. It would help me a lot. There's no rush, just whenever you get a chance. All right. See you around.
It's the only thing. Don't hurt anyone. Don't. Guess they were just busy. Can't fault them for being busy. There's a chest back there I'd love to get my hands on if you could just, What if you move just a hair to the left? Your right, my left. That would be great. So that's tougher than it looks. I speak with their tongues. I speak with their tongues. He listens with their ears. I'm trying to piece together. Like, I mean, I get the gist, but I'm trying to piece together exactly what's being communicated to me. I feel like those are hints to some key mechanics, is kind of what it feels like. Did I get it? I don't think I did.
Salve.
Salve, friend. Are you new here? Okay, if I jump down to that platform... Oh, Galerius, I have your flower for you. You'll never guess what I did. It was exactly the thing you asked of me.
Don't you just love springtime? Ah, it's you again. Hope you're settling in, friend. Now, what's on your mind? Brilliant! You did it! Well done! This is going to make her so happy. Equitia, I mean. Now I just have to figure out how to give it to her. What I really want to do is walk up to her, give her the flower, and confess I've been madly in love with her since the moment...
Is that a sin? I don't know what to sin around here.
And I can't shake the feeling that the consequences could be... terrible. You mean, aside from her execution? You see, Equitia is a Vestal priestess, meaning she's taken a vow of chastity, the breaking of which would be an extremely serious affront to the gods and a capital offense.
I see. I was making a joke.
Suspected of being unchaste, it could lead to her execution. Unchaste Vestals get buried alive. Oh, and I'd get flogged to death for good measure. But at the same time, she's just so kind and graceful. I feel so much love for her that if I don't tell her, it'll burn a hole in my chest. I don't know what to do. What do you think? What would you do?
I'm no relationship counselor. Figure it out on your own.
I suppose you're right. What I need is a go-between. Someone who can tell her how I feel and find out how she feels without risking her life. What do you say? Do you think you could help me one more time? Wonderful! Now, all I need you to do is give her the flower and tell her it's from a secret admirer. Tell her I'll keep my distance and that I just want her to know that she's loved. Thank you. Come back as quick as you can and tell me what she says. Ah, it's you again. Hope you're settling in, friend.
We were
Now,
just talking.
What's on your mind? I've bounced the idea around once or twice, mainly as a way of getting Dooley set free. God knows Sentius is never going to do it. But from what I hear, Malleolus has the election stitched up. Nobody's going to take him on and win. And maybe that's not such a bad thing. I mean, he talks a lot about freedom, so I'm hoping if he's elected, he'll release Dooley from his cell. That's good enough for me. Because Sentius put him there. Poor Dooley was just wandering around looking for some imaginary treasure. Now a magistrate accused him of being a thief.
Thief?
It's nonsense, of course. Dooley's the most harmless man you'll ever meet. But Sentius really has it in for him, for some reason. Gladly. All right. See you around.
Are these cabbages just for anyone? Are these cabbages... Hey, are these cabbages spoken for? What's he pointing at? Yo, we got a goat situation going on here? Alright, I'll go see the priestess.
On your best behavior, I trust?
Not even a little bit. Fuck around and find out. Get kicked. Can I read the note at least? Deep in the caves behind the theater. Turn right at the first fork, and again at the second.
It's you. Help me.
I'm wondering if I should just go down here this way anyway. Yeah. We'll come back. Well, she's in there with Dooley.
Ave again. Did you find what you need? Oh, how lovely. It just happens to be my favorite, too. Who do I have to thank for this? I see. So, it's from Galerius, then? Of course I do. I think everyone in the city knows. That man is a wonderful human being, and my favorite person in the world. But he is the least subtle, secret admirer you could imagine. The way he looks at me with those puppy dog eyes. Plus, he's been trying for weeks to get his hands on this flower. He went to so much effort, too. Suspending that rope above the lake, inventing that pulley device, all on his own. He'd just stand there every morning, looking at the flower, trying to summon the courage to seize it. Oh, my heart. Tell that adorable oaf that my Vestal's vow of chastity ends once I turn 36. So if we ever make it out of here, and he doesn't mind waiting a few years, then tell him I love him too.
You know what? I have a feeling he already knows.
I hope so. Come back to me.
Hey, Galerius. Did you hear, or do you need me to tell you?
Ah, it's you again. Hope you're settling in, friend. Now, what's on your mind? Thanks. What did she say?
You heard.
Venus, that is the best news I've ever heard in my life. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. You have no idea how happy you've made me. I wish there was something I could do to thank you properly, but I don't have much to offer you. All I can do is tell you where there's a secret stash of coins you might be interested in. In the rock tunnel near the stairs, there's a little doorway set into the rock. Inside, if you look carefully, you can see a chest. Unfortunately, one of those golden huntress statues is blocking the path, and I'm not game to move it. If you can figure out how to get past it, I reckon there might be a small fortune waiting for you. I hope that helps in some way. Well, it's a long one, and kind of sad, but I don't mind telling it. I'm a farmer. Always have been. I grew up in a small village in Britannia, Camulodunum, with my parents and 2 little sisters. Lovely part of the world. One day, when I was about 20, my father and I were in the top paddock, loading our cart, when some Roman legionaries came along, demanding produce for their men. My father told me to run into the house for his axe, and so I did. I sprinted so fast I almost threw up, but by the time I got back, he was bleeding out on the ground, and our cart was empty. That was my first encounter with the legions. My mother died of a broken heart soon after, and things went downhill from there. I took over the farmstead, but I was young, and it was a struggle. More raiding started before too long. We'd come outside in the morning to find animals missing, our stores pillaged. These Legion thugs just took whatever they wanted. One night, when my sisters and I had nothing left to steal, there was a knock at the door. I knew who they were, and what they wanted. I got my father's old axe, pulled the door open real quick, and before that soldier knew it, split his face right down the middle. But there were more of them. I never saw how many, because the next thing I knew, I was waking up with a mouth full of dirt and lungs full of smoke. My home was reduced to ash. My sisters dead. And they left me alive to see what they'd done. Still burns whenever I think about it. Yeah, well, I wasn't the only one this happened to. It wasn't long before Boudica led thousands of Britons in a rebellion against the Romans. Unfortunately, there were just too many of them. And those of us who survived, they enslaved. So, then I found myself being transported all the way to Rome to be sold to the highest bidder.
Damn, were the Romans the bad guys? Wow.
Master.
There's a whole lot of people who are really into history who are gonna hate this game.
My name and everything. Tried to escape a couple of times, but they always found me, and I'd just end up right back where I was. I'd probably still be there too, if it wasn't for the stampedes breaking out. You see, about 7 months ago, an enormous fire broke out in Rome. Everybody was running down toward the river, screaming and shouting. I'd never seen anything like it. Human beings acting like cattle. I got swept up with them somehow, and the rest is a blur. The next thing I knew, some stranger was dragging me out of a river. Stumbled across this place and started my life over again.
He got dragged out of a river too, huh? Curious that.
That's what I thought too, for a while. But it seems the gods aren't done tormenting me yet. See, I finally had my own farm again, safe from the grasping hands of the Romans. Or so I thought. Until Sentius the Decurion demanded I hand over all my produce. It's for the good of us all, he says. Only he takes the best bits for himself, of course. He even told me if I refuse his demands, I'll break the golden rule. I'm not sure I believe him, but then...
I'm not sure he's the good guy now that I'm thinking about it.
That dear old magistrate is no better than the Legion thugs who took everything from me. I'm right back where I began. But don't you worry, Nemesis is waiting, and he'll get his one day. He'll get his.
Nemesis? Isn't that a DC villain?
That last part, will you? I get carried away sometimes.
Sure or sure lie.
Thanks, friend. I knew I liked you. Anyway, that's enough of me rambling. Was there something else you wanted to talk about? All right. See you around.
Yeah, his model was jittering because he was standing right on this ledge, which is kind of funny. Weird. I'll never stop doing it, but it's still weird every time. Ichthus. Hey. Hey, you're a person who's alive. Hey, look over this way. Hey. Hey. Isn't that the symbol for the Christians? Those kooky Christians, what'll they come up with next? Yeah, no shit. You're made of gold. Feels like that rock's floating, you know what I mean? Damn. What happens when you die? I was just doing a goof. No, it's loading. And not like frozen loading like it was last time. I think there is some auto-saving. There's also quick saves that I've been making as I go. Hey, I'm as excited as you are to find out where I...
You've acquainted yourself with the rest of our neighbors.
Sorry?
Don't you just love springtime?
So this is where I left off.
If you can... Well, it's... Yeah. That's... Thanks, friend. Alright.
I didn't lose very much progress. Whoops. I'll be more mindful. Please don't die. Okay, that's apparently too long of a fall. I was trying to see if I could get back into this area back here. It seems like the quick load is not as quick as you might imagine it to be. Like, when presented with a concept like quick load, you might imagine that it's implying that it's going to be fast. This actually couldn't be further from the truth. Music changed when I came up here. Do the gods maybe not like it when I'm up here? Didn't I make an election happen? Well... maybe. How you doing, buddy? Let me help you with that. It won't move. Find a creative way into the upper cistern. How creative you looking? There are more invisible walls in this game than I like. Is this maybe what that ichthys was for? Something tells me I don't survive that fall. There's a little pool down there, though. What if I made a really sick landing, though?
Thank you. Thank you. I am delighted and deeply honored to have been elected your magistrate. Yes. Thank you. I'm delighted and deeply honored. And now, I make this solemn promise to you, good citizens. And now, I make this solemn promise to you, good citizens. Under my leadership, you will finally enjoy the freedom you deserve. And yes, no more shall you walk on eggshells, yes. No more shall you walk on eggshells, fearing simply to live and breathe because the tyrant
It's true. Which were captors, Malolius and Claudia. So this guy held some people captive in his home?
What's the meaning of this? Did you just leap into my villa from the balcony 100 feet above? That was either extremely reckless or impressively clever. Well, why have you risked life and limb to see me? I'm Malleolus, and if it wasn't for this interruption, I'd be practicing my victory speech for the election later today. I'm glad you asked. I'll finally restore freedom to this city, just as I've been promising. These good people have suffered long enough under Sentius's tyranny. By declaring there's no such thing as the Golden Rule, it's a children's fable exploited by Sentius to frighten us into submission. Wait, don't tell me you've fallen victim to that monstrous lie? Nonsense! There's no way you can prove that. If it was real and you'd seen someone break it, then you'd be dead already.
Oh my god. This is, what's his name? Pascal's Wager, basically.
What? Oh, I see what's happening here. Another poor, vulnerable soul taken in by Sentius's machinations. He won't get away with this much longer. You mean that book next to a golden statue in the theater? Tell me, how do you know that statue wasn't put there by Sentius himself? You can't know, can you? Surely, you're not one of those people who believes everything you read, as if a lie could be transformed into the truth by the simple act of writing it down. I disagree. I'll be guided by what is best for the city's people, and that means giving them the freedom to do as they wish. True, but that is simply because you are mistaken. I'm afraid not. We're stuck down here together, for better or worse. We're all going to have to make the best of it. I trust you can see yourself out. Through the door this time. There's a key just beside it. Thank you. Thank you. I am delighted and deeply honored to have been elected your magistrate. Thank you. Thank you. I'm delighted and deeply honored. And now, I make this solemn promise to you, good citizens. And now, I make this solemn promise to you, good citizens. Under my leadership, you will finally enjoy the freedom you deserve. And, yes, no more shall you walk on, eggshells, yes. No more shall you walk on eggshells, fearing simply to live and breathe because the tyrant Sentius told you it was forbidden. Yes, my first act, yes, I hereby.
I apologize for earlier.
Do I need to ask her?
Okay.
You've returned. Do you have any news about your investigation? Ask then. Good. Now, of course, what is it? Why then did you say, it looks like you'll have to continue your... You mean Duilius? Releasing him is out of the question, I'm afraid. That man is a liability we simply cannot afford. Perhaps you're not aware he was caught multiple times, sneaking around in places he should not have been. Look, I can see where you're going with this. You think me cruel. I assure you, that is not the case. You may not be aware of this, but it was not so long ago, during the Republic, the law of the 12 Tables would have required that he be killed as soon as he was born, owing to his deformities. Here, we see to it that he has food, water, and shelter, and, most importantly, he is able to continue living. A privilege that would be taken away from all of us, were he to be released and commit the crime of trespass. The man has no self-discipline, poor comprehension of what is going on around him, and is an incorrigible rule-breaker. I will not jeopardize the lives of my people so that one man can go free. Now, was there something else? Sextus Sentius Imperiosus is my name, though magistrate is the proper way to address me. Before I wound up here, I was a decurion in the cavalry of Imperial Rome, helping protect civilization from the barbarians. It's a cavalry officer. I had 30 men under my command. This was my uniform. As magistrate, I usually wear a toga, but today I may need to survive long enough to create the portal for you, so it seemed prudent. My men and I were at the Emporium in Rome as honor guard for a visiting dignitary arriving upriver by barge. Now the port is
He fell in the river,
bustling,
didn't he?
But just as our guests arrived, waves of people began running toward the river from streets and alleyways in every direction. They were trying to escape a terrible fire. Unfortunately, the crowd sent my horse into a panic, and I remember it losing its footing by the water's edge. The next thing I knew, I was waking up on a riverbank not far from here in the company
Was her
of
name
some
Karen?
stranger. I went looking for my horse and discovered that lonely temple. You can probably figure out the rest. I was elected 7 months ago, uncontested because of my command experience. Since then, there's been growing agitation for another election. They're supposed to be annual, but I agreed to hold it sooner, hoping it would placate my constituents. Unfortunately, it just seems to have emboldened certain elements instead. Very well. Thank you.
Interesting.
Isn't the great temple majestic? Arvid. And did you notice anything? A pattern? Yes, I also had such an encounter. What else? There are definitely some common threads there. But I think we'll need at least a few to ensure we're not just seeing coincidences. Keep asking people how they wound up here. I don't want us to rush to any conclusions yet. Livia's fate weighs heavily on my mind, and dictates we should be sure. Yes, you should ask the others first.
Why is this one wearing a toga? I don't like that. Please do not dress up the statues. It worries me. Did I break the game? I'm not allowed to move. He can't get past me. Oh, nope. Here we go. His dialogue's, hold on. Once I get out of this, I'm gonna reload the save and then... Did the game crash when I did that, or is it loading this time? It's loading, okay. Yeah, him shooting me with an arrow is apparently, like, inappropriate or something. I responded too quickly. I think I messed up that interaction. I mean, obviously small glitches like that suck, but, I was, like, spamming the E button because I thought it was going to give me, like, the kick option. Where's he going?
Stop right there. I'm looking for Tiberius Quinctius Crispus, otherwise known as Quinctius. Do you know where he is? I'm not sure I believe that, so allow me to explain something.
At least there's a door between us now.
I am here with orders from Emperor Nero himself to find and execute the cultist Quinctius for terrible crimes against the Empire. So, if you tell me the truth, I will allow you to live. But if you lie to me or otherwise obstruct the Emperor's business in any way, I will put this arrow through your chest. Is that understood? Thank you. Now tell me, who are you people, and what is this place? A small community. Ha! I was told Quinctius was a cultist, but I never thought he'd be foolish enough to lead me right to the heart of his mystery cult. You say that, but if you're not a cult, then why go to such great lengths to keep this place a secret? So you admit you're not allowed to leave. Threatening me is not going to help you, but in any case, that sounds an awful lot like a cult to me.
That just sounds like a cult with more
I saw the
steps.
inscription saying, "The many shall suffer for the sins of the one." I take it this is some kind of mantra you all believe? You've clearly been indoctrinated into this nonsense. Now tell me, where did you lot get enough gold to make all these statues? You lot are practicing human sacrifice too. You people disgust me. Yes, because I'm the real villain here. It's all clear to me now. The secret sanctuary, the indoctrination, the mantra, the human sacrifice. You're cultists, there's no doubt in my mind. What baffles me is how a person can believe in something with such zeal. They just can't see what they've become. However, you still have a chance to redeem yourself by telling me where Quinctius is. Do not waste it. Very well. Here's what I know. He's a 40 to 50-year-old man with distinctive eyes, one green and one blue.
Oh, I definitely know who that is.
He's also known to have delusions of grandeur. The Emperor says he and his cult, your cult, are responsible for starting the fire which burnt half of Rome to the ground and killed thousands in the process. Who are you to challenge what the Emperor says? Were you there? Do you have spies and scouts all over Rome, like he does? No, you do not. This is your last chance. Are you going to tell me where he is or not?
Oh, but I do know who he is, and I would be willing to help. Oh, that sucks.
Then you're of no use to me. Do you have any last words?
Jesus Christ, you're an idiot.
And there's a simple explanation for that. I lied.
Fortunately, that's not a sin.
If you want to know the truth before you die, here it is. Once I'm done with you and Quintius, I intend to kill every last one of you wretched degenerates. And I can think of nothing I'd enjoy more.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Shit. Can we be buddies? I didn't do shit. It was him. Go get him. What do you think about that, man? You fucked up. Something busted? Leave me out of this shit.
What? I'm speaking Latin. You are too, although your accent's... Oh, I see what you did there. Changing the subject like that. Nice try. But I'll ask again. Who are you, and what were you doing in the shrine? No idea what you're talking about. Oh, wait. Are you a bit, you know, not right in the head? That's all right, friend. Everyone's welcome here. We sort of lose track of the date down here, but it feels like the beginning of spring to me, so I'd say early March? It's 817 AUC. Sorry, you look confused. 817 years since the founding of Rome. Which part of the Empire are you from, exactly? CE? No idea what you're talking about. But listen, most folks seem a bit confused when they get here, but you seem very lost. Live by our... All right, friend, suit yourself. Just...
Ah, you're here. I'm so glad you decided to visit. I'm Aurelia, and I hope I'm not being too forward, but the moment I laid eyes on you, I was intrigued.
Extremely
There's a
forward.
light in your eyes I've never seen before. A certain learning and sophistication. What was that? Some kind of joke? If it was, it wasn't funny.
Cannot catch the drops
I
of
take back
water.
what I said.
And the tree you
Suddenly,
grasp
I don't find.
believes
Let's just forget that ever happened, so we can at least do business. So, ugh, let it go. Nothing's going to happen between us. Certainly, for 10 denarii. Have you met Livia? She used to do my hair until one day she just snapped. This place has that effect on people. Now, she just stands around, caked in filth, muttering nonsense to herself. It's a real shame. Now I have to do my own hair. I hear that if Malleolus is elected, he's gonna throw a small festival to celebrate, with entertainment and everything. Can't wait to find out what it is. Whatever you like. All right, see you.
Cerberus lifts his triple head and lets out his threefold braying.
Livia, would you stop muttering like Medea over a cauldron? You'll scare away my customers.
They follow their trades, imitating their previous lives, but they are ignorant.
This again. You're in a world of your own, aren't you?
So she knows.
Just as the ocean accepts the rivers of all the world, so this place accepts all the souls. But it does not notice the crowds that come. The bloodless shadows wander without flesh or bone. Some crowd the Forum, some the house of the ruler of the depths. Others follow their trades, imitate. They never do. There is only a downward path, gloomy with fatal yew trees. It leads through dumb silence to the infernal regions. Help me? You cannot help me. I have seen things. A pattern, a terrible pattern. It is better for you if you remain ignorant. Pandora's box must stay closed. I'll say no more. You think you wish to know, but you do not. It is better for you if... The newly arrived are ignorant of the road before them.
Not extremely helpful, if you were curious.
I love your clothes. So exotic.
Caveat emptor.
Back again. Couldn't stop. Ugh, let's...
Okay, she's not going to tell me her
Alright.
backstory unless I schmooze her properly, I imagine.
You stay away from my money.
I will not take your money, probably. Unless it benefits me in some way. I can't help but think, like, maybe I'm supposed to steal some things to make some progress. Like, maybe stealing this key, opening the chest, and seeing what's inside of it might lead me to progress going forward.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Aurelia boasts about scamming Illulia and Ulpus and hopes Malleolus wins the election so she can pay him a tribute in exchange for Centilla.
Children of night!
So, she is not above board at all. She's kind of, if I'm being honest, seems like maybe a huge piece of shit. It was a good way to get some money.
Oh, is that right? Well, can't have you disrespect, but listen, you live... All right.
Oh, you're here. And, there's a light.
Don't waste your breath. I know you're a horrible person. Okay, well, you know... We just gonna fucking go in? Is that the plan? I do want to hear her backstory, so...
Coming on a bit strong. Let's just be... Alright.
Alright.
The 49 melodies fetch again, with incessant labor. Cerberus lifts his prisoner and lets out his great bolt, praying.
Livia, would you stop muttering like Medea over a cauldron? You'll scare away my customers.
They follow their trades, imitating their previous lives, but they are ignorant.
This again. You're in a world of your own, aren't you?
She only has 1 denarius. Someone made a doll for someone. Was this where, what was his name, Dooley? Is this where Dooley used to live? Someone's gonna want all this wine, I'm sure of it. I was told that I needed to find a bow and arrow. That was something... Obtain a bow. Pluton. Oh, I know that stuff. I saw a video about this stuff on Tasting History. That's a penis. Told Lucretia about the dreams I've been having. She said might help her divine them meaning if I wrote them down. Okay, so that puts whoever this person is in the same camp as... I mean, we all... There seem to be many of us who have the same story. These ones don't look at me. And I'm curious what the difference is. Some of the statues don't look at me.
Greetings and salutations. Greetings, I'm Georgius. It gladdens me to see another foreigner in our midst. We must stick together, you and I. And I must say, my sartorial friend, your clothing is most extraordinary. Leather boots in place of sandals, trousers with precise stitching, and such a curious design. I have traveled distant trade routes from the markets of Damascus to the farms of India. And never have I seen anyone dressed quite like you. Tell me, I must know. From which exotic part of the world do you hail? Then you are an explorer, like me. Wonderful. You must have many stories to share. I cannot wait to hear them. We will have much time here to get to know one another. But for now, do you require assistance? I know you do not require clothing, so information perhaps? My story? How kind of you to ask. I am a tailor and I run the humble shop in the forum. You mean to say, with all the turmoil and terror of the Golden Rule, and so few customers, why bother setting shop at all? I'll tell you, it is precisely because of the Golden Rule that I wish to remind my friends of the importance of looking one's best. I say, the more of our customs we preserve down here, the more we can preserve a semblance of normality, the better our chances of keeping our heads. Don't you agree? Oh, and there is another reason too. If we all end up as golden statues for future
I knew he was gonna say
generations
that.
to marvel at. I don't know about you, but I would like to look my best. A good question. A very good question indeed. And I would be happy to tell you if only I could remember it clearly myself. I remember I had just been to Rome to sell an extraordinary selection of wares, and drowning in coin, I decided to celebrate my success. I rented a prestigious villa by the Tiber, invited over a few select friends, and we began making our way through some of the most exquisite wine money could buy. Quite a lot of it, in fact. Now, I have had visions and awoken in strange places before. I have even found myself naked in the desert sands more than once, but none of that compares to this. This time, I remember people screaming, then falling into a void as empty as time before creation, gasping for air, and then nothing. When I regained my faculties, I was lying naked by the banks of the Tiber, gods know how many miles from my villa. Indeed, I'm lucky I was carrying a little extra weight. I believe it kept me afloat. In any case, it seems I'd been rescued and resuscitated by a benevolent stranger. I went to find firewood for his campfire, stumbled across a cave, and discovered that trapdoor temple. And here I am. Anything you like. That, my friend, is quite the dilemma. But after some reflection, I'm leaning toward voting for Malleolus. I do not enjoy the thought of another visit from Domitius if I voted the wrong way. Nothing comes to my mind, my friend. I hope that our paths cross again soon, my friend.
Ah, a new face. Salve, and welcome to a little community. My name's impossible to pronounce for most people, so you can just call me Virgil. Look, I haven't done anything wrong, if that's what you're thinking. Somebody just has a problem with my preference for male company.
I mean, you fit in well with the
Hey,
Romans.
nothing gets by you, huh? Sorry, that was mean. Yes, I like men. And when you grow up in the north, as I did, in the city of Noviomagus, you expect a bit of hostility. The Batavi are not known for their tolerance. I saw enough friends killed or driven away to know the cost of not keeping your personal affairs to yourself. So I hid who I was for, what was it, nearly 10 years? Watching what I said and where I looked. But that kind of fear eats away at you slowly, until living isn't any better than the thing you were afraid of. Needless to say, since I'm now living underground, halfway across the known world, with an assumed name, my openness didn't go down well among the enlightened folk of the Batavi. In any case, the Romans are far more accepting, and among them, I get to be who I am. Or at least I thought that was the case. It seems I was wrong. It's not just graffiti. I have quite the collection of handwritten notes too. The strange thing is, I keep my personal affairs to myself. I've never really been interested in any of the men here. Not my type. So I'm not sure what I could have done to upset this person. If I had to guess, I'd say it's probably one of those cultists. Strange bunch. They insist there's only one god, and that he considers my nature a sin. Can you believe that? If there are any of them here, they won't admit it. Not since they supposedly burnt down half of Rome last year and went into hiding. All I know is, if these threats keep escalating, eventually my secret admirer is going to cross a line and break the golden rule. What? Really? I didn't expect that. But thanks. It's always a pleasure to meet someone so selfless. I'm glad you arrived when you did. I'd start by figuring out who the cultists are. Or maybe ask around among the merchants here. Someone who lives or works in the forum must have seen something. But if you find them, please don't hurt or humiliate them. I suspect they're just confused. Come back and let me know what you find.
Hello again, my sartorial friend. What? This is troubling, is it not? I am afraid I have no idea. It is ridiculous, though. Virgil is a fine man. But my young friend Fabia confided in me that she saw someone leaving graffiti on his shop front last night. Perhaps you should ask her about it. I hope that our paths...
Name's Rufius. Better watch your step. Can't talk long. Got to stay sharp, but... family's from Seleucia on Tigris. Babylon province. But I've been roaming a long time now. Even joined the legions. The 6th. The one they call Ironclads. Same way as everyone else. Because we're all in grave danger. Is it not obvious? Magistrate made me toss it in the chasm. Stupid. Going to have to improvise now. If you were dealing with what I am, you wouldn't be either. None of your business. Introiti ipsum commensula.
I don't know what that means. I don't speak Spanish.
If we have to. Meliodas. Not sure I trust Sentius. Couldn't even protect his daughter in a city without sin. How's he going to protect us? No. Whatever.
Nice guy.
What are you doing in here? Can't you see this woman is dying? She's been poisoned. She needs the resin of a plant called Silphium, but that Culus cubulatus Decius won't give it to me. It's too late. She just slipped away. She was poisoned. She came in here frothing at the mouth. Normally, I'd treat her with resin of Silphium, a rare plant which is perfect for this sort of thing. And I knew Decius had some at his market stall, right around the corner. So I ran over there, but he just looks at me with this evil smile and says, "That'll be 1,000 denarii." There was no way I could afford that, and he knew it. Then that toad shrugs and says, "Supply and demand. I guess you don't value your friend's life that highly." Anywhere else, I'd just pay a thug to steal it from his stall, but there's no way I can do that down here with the golden rule. So all I could do is come back here and just watch her die. I kept on apologizing. And now I'll never know who poisoned her, or how they managed to do it without breaking the golden rule, or why she cursed that snake's cruel black eyes with her dying breath. Well, unless you have the power to bring someone back from the dead, there's really just one thing you can do. Get me that Silphium resin. I'm going to have another patient in here soon. Could be in the next day, or in the next hour. And I will not allow this to happen again. I don't care how you get it, but you have to make it happen. Because if I lose another patient this way, I swear to the gods below, not even the golden rule will stop me from marching up to that Genetricum Fututo and scratching his eyes out. Oh no. Sorry, I don't mean to worry you, but...
No, that's not normal.
It's definitely not normal. There was one other person who claimed she could hear the statues talking to her. But that was Nevia, and she went a little mad. Anything about what? Sure. What do you want to know? Hemlock, I believe. Do you really want to know? I mean, if somebody poisoned her, then surely they would have broken the golden rule, and so maybe it's best we don't discuss it. I haven't seen her in months. She's not allowed to leave Malleolus' villa, and they are quite secretive. Gladly. I'm Lucretia, and I'm going to be straight with you. I'm not a physician. This is Nevia's clinic. I've just been filling in ever since she disappeared. I'm tired and out of my depth and miserable all the time. But I'd rather take this on myself than let one of you lot mess it up. My husband and I moved to Rome from Caesarea. He embraced the Roman way more than I would have liked, and turned into an awful philanderer. I would have divorced him and demanded the return of my dowry, but I knew he would sooner have me killed than give me my right. So I waited for the right time to take what was mine and disappear. And then the fires came. As he prepared to evacuate our villa, I gathered our most precious belongings, coins and gemstones, and the moment his back was turned, I ran. I could barely see for the smoke, and the streets were full of people trampling each other. I ran for the river, like everyone else, and leapt in. The next thing I remember, I was waking up on a riverbank, not far from here. It's all right. Say what you will about this place. At least my fornicating husband will never find me. And while there's no shortage of snakes here, at least with the golden rule, they have to try to be discreet about it. Oh, this shrine was in use as a clinic long before any of us arrived here. Kind of strange to set up a clinic in the temple of the god of disease. But the god who inflicts a curse is also the only god who can undo it. So I suppose praying to Apollo for healing kind of makes sense. Well, she used to run the clinic. She was a midwife, not a physician, but she was the closest thing we had down here. And she was good too, until she suddenly lost all interest in us. One day she told me she'd made some profound discovery about the golden statues. This changes everything, she kept saying, but I had no idea what she was talking about. The last time I saw her, the last time any of us saw her, she was muttering to the statues, like she could talk to them. And then she shut herself in the palace, barred the door from the inside, and nobody's seen her since. She's been gone so long now, we figure she's either dead or up to something so strange that she doesn't want anyone else to know about it. But I really wish I could reach her, because that's the only hope I have of solving a troubling problem, a real thorn in the paw situation. One of my patients is suffering from terrible rheumatism. His joints are inflamed and he's in constant pain. I really shouldn't say. He wouldn't like it. And he's a little bit scary. He's become so irritable that the smallest things set him off, and I worry he'll end up losing his temper and lashing out, and you know what that means. I just know Nevia would know how to treat him, assuming she's still alive. But nobody seems to know how to get into the palace. Really? That would be wonderful. Thank you. Let me know how you go. May Apollo keep you safe.
Yeah, it didn't say taking that was theft, so...
Salve, stranger, and welcome to our idyllic little slice of the Empire. I'm Dacius. Terrible shame what happened to Yulia, but we just have to carry on, don't we? Certainly. All I ask is a reasonable price of 1,000 denarii. That's hardly my concern. But if you get a job, work hard and save your coins, you should be able to afford it within, say, 5 years? Oh, it's perfectly legal. Simply a question of supply and demand, I'm afraid. Take it or leave it. Hear what? You sure you're feeling all right? If you're hearing things, perhaps you should pay a visit to Lucretia's clinic. We don't want another Navia on our hands. She claimed the statue was whispering to her. Nobody else could hear it. Then she shut herself in the palace and we never heard from her again. But I digress. Do you want this Silphium or not? Well, if you did that, you'd break the golden rule, and we'd share the same fate as the last lot who lived here. Is that what you want? Do you think I don't know a bluff when I see one? Nice try. Very well. Perhaps I can interest you in something within your budget? You mean, how did I end up here? That is a lengthy tale. All right. Well, you see, I'm in the business of procuring rare and precious objects liberated from the enemies of Rome. Mostly sculptures, vases, the occasional slave, fetch a magnificent price in Roman high society. Had myself a nice little shop in Rome, just off the Forum. Lots of foot traffic and close to the docks. Good place to be when the fires broke out. See, about 7 months ago, half of Rome caught on fire. Everyone who couldn't get to an outer gate was running for the river, open to escape by barge. So I gathered my coins and some priceless vases into a cart and had my most loyal slave girl, pretty young thing named Acantha, push it for me. All the way down to the river, I'm elbowing for a stampede of people, turning back now and then to make sure she hasn't legged it with my valuables. But, to my surprise, we make it, and I see this barge loading up, and it's so full it's almost sinking. But the captain's happy to take my coin, so I start boarding, and then he puts his hand on my chest and he says, "No, too heavy. The cart or the girl." So I did what anyone would have done. The girl? Weren't you listening? All my valuables or the girl? I mean, I can always buy a new slave girl if I still have my money. So I put my hand on the cart, and I guess she realised what was happening because those pretty black eyes of hers go all wide. And in one swift motion, she topples the whole bloody thing into the Tiber. Naturally, I dived in after it, hoping to salvage my fortune. Only, I guess I must have hit my head or something, because everything went black. When I came to, I'd washed up on the riverbank not far from here, with nothing in the world but a single silver coin.
Coin.
Thank you, friend. But it turns out it might have been a stroke of good fortune, because this place is a veritable treasure trove. Look around you. There must be more gold in here than in the treasury of Rome. If I can just figure out how to get it out of here. I don't, I'm afraid. But I did overhear Fabia telling Georgius she saw something. She was headed to the baths not long ago. Very well. Another time.
I can. I can hear you. I hope this guy gets shot by an arrow, like, right now. I might be able to arrange that if I can find the Sylphium. This is in the chest? So I'm just gonna book it from here. Let me go talk to Fabia first.
Help! You have to do something! A man arrived. You have to do... Are you serious? This is an emergency. Are you going to help or not? Thank you. I have to hide. What? Why? All right, fine. Come and find me in my bakery instead. Please be careful.
What? I didn't go in there. I just stood in the doorway.